Welcome MTG Burgeoning viewer. This is a quick message to remind you of our rewards for September. If we get at least 30 subscribers during the month of September, then one subscriber will be chosen at random and receive an entire set of Modern Horizon art cards. Also, any subscriber who comments on every MTG Burgeoning video during the month of September will become eligible for the October Pack Wars. On October 1st, a list will be compiled of all subscribers that commented on every MTG Burgeoning video released during September. From this list, one subscriber will be chosen at random to participate in the October Pack Wars for free. If the chosen subscriber is already a Pack Wars supporter or member, then that subscriber will receive a second spot in the October Pack Wars. So be sure to leave a comment and prepare for war. We are MTG Burgeoning. This is Kitchen Table Friday. Subscribe now and join the movement. Burgeonites, welcome as we return to the Kitchen Table series for deck tech number 13. How appropriate that today's deck tech is number 13 of the series, because for today we are going to look through an Izzet Coin-Flip deck. That's right, folks, blue-red coin-flip deck. So let's start with the mana base. If we've got Izzet, then you know we're starting off with a pile of islands. 9 islands to start. 8 mountains. So that's 9 islands, 8 mountains, 4 copies of the Izzet Checkland of Sulphur Falls. Taps for a blue or taps for a red. It enters the battlefield tapped unless we control an island or mountain. We should not have any problem with that, as there are 17 basic islands and mountains in this deck. And the last land is Steam Vents, our Izzet Shockland, which is also island mountain, giving our check lands an even greater opportunity to come into the battlefield untapped. So those are our 22 lands, and of course kitchen table, so we're throwing a soul ring in there. 22 lands and a soul ring. So the heart of our coin flip deck, it's not a finger, folks, it's a thumb. Krark's Thumb. For 2 colorless, this legendary artifact says if we would flip a coin, instead flip 2 coins and ignore 1. So pretty much Krark's Thumb allows us to flip an additional coin to try to get to our heads or our tails. 4 copies in the deck. Krark's Thumb. One of our coin flip win conditions for this deck is a sorcery called Fiery Gambit. And for 2 and a red, this sorcery says flip a coin until we lose a flip or choose to stop flipping. If we lose a flip, Fiery Gambit has no effect. So you gotta call your shots and you gotta make them come through, or this spell fizzles right to the graveyard. If we win one or more flips, Fiery Gambit deals 3 damage to target creature. If we win 2 or more flips, in addition to the 3 damage to target creature, Fiery Gambit deals 6 damage to each opponent. If we win 3 or more flips, we draw 9 cards and untap all lands we control. So as you can see, winning 3 flips with a Fiery Gambit and a Krark's Thumb in play gives us 9 more cards, all of our lands untapped, and the ability to cast some additional win condition spells. And our opponents who begin the game with 20 life, they're not going to be able to survive many successful Fiery Gambits. 1 play set, Fiery Gambit. Win condition. Our next coin flip win condition, all the way from Weatherlight. we have Goblin Bomb. For 1 and a red, Goblin Bomb is an enchantment that during our upkeep, we may choose to flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while the coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in our favor, therefore if our opponent miscalls, we put a fuse counter on Goblin Bomb. Otherwise, we remove a fuse counter from Goblin Bomb if the opponent guesses the flip correctly. We remove 5 fuse counters from Goblin Bomb and sacrifice it, and it deals 20 damage to target player. I've pulled this off. I've killed opponents with the Goblin Bombs. I've done it multiple times with the Fiery Gambit. Goblin Bomb, 4 copies. So those are our 8 win conditions to pair with Krark's Thumb in this Izzet Coin-Flip deck. Some additional Coin-Flip cards to help us get to the end of the game, to help us get the cards that we need, accumulate the mana, and end up winning the game. Stitch in Time. And honestly, this might be a card to start thinking about including in a variety of different decks, even if it's not a Coin-Flip focused deck. Because for 1 blue and a red, you have a 50-50 shot of taking an extra turn. That's it. 1 blue and a red, flip a coin. If you win the flip, take an extra turn. If you don't, all right, you burn 3 mana. Gotta tell you, it seems worth it. It seems worth it. Playset, Stitch in Time. Great card. Another coin flip spell, another sorcery, another that costs 1 a blue and a red. And this one is from Squeeze Revenge. Sorcery, choose a number, flip a coin that many times or until you lose a flip, whichever comes first. If you win all the flips, draw 2 cards for each flip. So of course, with Krark's Thumb, it's going to help us, you know, optimize the number of times that we can actually win when we flip a coin. Pick 3, win all 3, draw 6 cards. Very reasonable, folks. 4 copies, Squeeze Revenge. And the next playset of spells is going to help us find and get Krark's Thumb into our hand if we don't already have it, and that's going to be a Fabricate. For 2 and a blue, we search our library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into our hand. 4 copies, Krark's Thumb, Soul Ring, that's what they're there for. Let's get them into our hand, and let's get them out onto the battlefield. And those are our coin flip spells. Now, because we have a little bit of time before we can effectively hit our spells and try to close out the game with a Fiery Gambit or a Goblin Bomb, we've included some removal spells as a way in which to slow down the board and preserve our life totals. The first is Rapid Hybridization. For a blue, for just a blue, as an instant, we destroy target creature. This is a blue instant spell for 1 blue mana to destroy target creature. This is very similar to a spell called Pongify, except that the creature's controller puts a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token onto the battlefield with Rapid Hybridization, whereas with Pongify, they're getting a 3/3 green ape creature token. But still, an instant spell, 1 blue, destroy target creature. 4 copies. Not even looking back. In addition to the destroy creature cards, we have some good old-fashioned lightning bolts. 1 red, 3 to anything. 3 to a creature, 3 to a player, 3 to a planeswalker. 4 copies, good old trustworthy lightning bolt. Alright, and a few other spells to round out the deck. Those are the first 55, and here are the last 5. This spell is included because it's an interesting enchantment that can help put some cards into our hand. In addition, help punish our opponents for cards in their hand. And that's Fevered Visions. All the way back from, you know it baby, Shadows over Innistrad. 1 blue and a red at the beginning of each player's end step, that player draws a card. If the player is one of our opponents and has 4 or more cards in hand, Fevered Visions deals 2 damage to that player. Great way to get some incremental damage dealt to our opponents, because as you can tell, the Fiery Gambit deals 6 to each opponent, We cast that 3 times, that's only 18 points of damage. If we can't draw our lightning bolt, Fevered Visions may be enough to win the game. Now a couple of mass creature removal spells in case, you know, our rapid hybridizations or our lightning bolts aren't enough. We have 1 copy of Chain Reaction. 2 and 2 red. This deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. Great removal spell. Love it. I've been playing that for the longest time. Love Chain Reaction. Another creature wipe, because as you can tell, we have no creatures in this deck. This is a creatureless deck. This is a straight Izzet Spellslinger deck. We're slinging spells, we're flipping coins, but we ain't putting creatures into play. Starstorm, X and 2 red. This instant deals X damage to each creature, and if needed, we can cycle it for a hefty price of 3 generic mana. Starstorm can help clear the board. 2 spells left. The next creature removal spell. Again, we're not playing creatures, so it's okay to include 1 copy of Evacuation. 3 in double blue. Return all creatures to their owner's hands. That'll work every time, folks. Every time. All right, and card number 60. I bet you're guessing what it is. I bet you're thinking, oh, here he comes. Here comes Ral Zarek. Nope. Here comes Reigns of Power. 2 and 2 blue. Reigns of Power is an instant that says untap all creatures we control and all creatures target opponent controls. So for the purposes of this deck, we're not untapping any of our creatures because they don't exist. You and that opponent each gain control of all creatures the other controls until end of turn. Those creatures gain haste until end of turn. So what this spell really says is, I'm going to borrow your army for a moment and then either attack and kill you with it or attack a different opponent and have that opponent deal with the combat damage from your own creatures. Reigns of Power sneaks in as card number 60. Now, disclosure regarding Ral. And here he is right here. There's Ral. There was a time many moons ago where Ral Zarek was a part of this coin flip deck. You kind of think that he has to be because of what his ultimate ability is. And if his ultimate ability, let's put it back up there and read through it real quick. All right, so we -7 from Ral Zarek, and we flip 5 coins. And we take an extra turn after this one for each coin that comes up heads. So Ral Zarek, many moons ago, was a very prominently featured card in this deck. He comes in with 4 loyalty. He's 2 blue and a red. And to +1, we tap target permanent, then untap another target permanent. And to -2, it is a lightning bolt, just like we had earlier in our deck tech. So, over time, Ral, come on, camera, I know it's Ral, I get it. We're trying to explain. You can at least focus it and give him, there we go. So, Ral used to be in the deck, and on 2 separate occasions, I was able to do Ral Zarek's ultimate ability of -7 and flip 5 coins. That happened 2 times during the time that Ral was in this deck. Every single flip I lost. I am not exaggerating. It is an infamous memory amongst the players in my meta group. It doesn't, there's not a time goes by where that's not brought up during gameplay. 5 flipped coins twice, and I lost every single flip. And I still remember the second time I ulted him, and I'm like, oh, this time I'm going to win every single flip because we're going to return to the mean of 50% heads, 50% tails. Lost every flip 2 times, 0 for 10. That night, Ral came out, and he never went back in, and he never will. And because of that, because of the curse of Ral, I guess we could call it, this deck tech is completed, and we are not even going to include a play testing of this deck tech, because ever since Ral's exiling from the deck, the coins have fallen well below a 50-50 split. Anyways, to be completely honest, I don't even call this my coin flip deck. I call this my 20/80 deck, because 20% of the time, the coin comes up what I call it. And I am not going to torture the MTG Burgeoning audience or my loyal viewers with seeing me struggle to call heads or tails and not get enough to make the deck work. So that is our Izzet Deck Tech Kitchen Table Series number 13. Again, how appropriate that deck number 13 is our coin flip deck. It is a very fun deck. It is a very inexpensive deck, aside from, the lightning bolts and the rapid hybridizations. It's a great deck to play. It is fun, but I am not going to play test it for you. So enjoy the deck tech. Go forth. Enjoy this Kitchen Table Friday. Want to become a Pack Wars combatant? 4 easy steps. Step number 1. Click on the link below in the description, or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/MTGBurgeoning. Step number 2, select either membership or support. Membership will enroll you into Pack Wars for $5 each month. Support will cost $5 for 1 month. Step number 3, complete payment information. The name you use will appear on the site. Use your real name, use your YouTube handle, or use no name at all and be anonymous. Be sure to include your email address in the information. Step number 4, most importantly, prepare for war.